Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, August 2nd, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. Thursday afternoon, there were two separate water main breaks in the center of town. For more on this, we go to the Public Works building.
Yesterday at the town hall, we had a water main break. We had to it was about 11 a.m. We had to shut the water main off between Railroad Ave and Manhattan Street. It was a 2-inch line, old 2-inch line to the town hall. We had to cut the T out, and then about 3 p.m. we had another water break at 862 Washington Street, right in front of Garino's. Normally the water crew is just a 4-man crew, but we had 8 guys. Everybody worked hard and under the the heat and the weather conditions there. So,
thanks to DPW for the quick response and hard work while fixing the issue. Things are spicing up at the library. Library Director Charlotte Kennelly tells Norwood News how she's added a little seasoning to the Library of Things.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Kennelly, the Library Director of the Morrow Memorial Library here in Norwood, and with me is Irene Godovich, who is one of our Technical Services Assistants, and we are the gardening mavens of the library along with many on the library staff. We actually have, I don't know how many staff involved in our latest in the Library of Things, which is our herb garden. We have 13 different kinds of plants in our garden this year. We've had it since around the beginning of July. We have 2 different kinds of parsleys, curly and flat. We have 3 kinds of thyme. We have lemon thyme, and we have English thyme and a German thyme. We have Greek oregano, Italian oregano, cilantro, sage, rosemary. We planted it. It's a veg trug, which is an excellent way to garden in your backyard. Make sure that the rodents and the bunnies stay away from, and we don't have any deer in the parking lot, so it's not a problem. And just come to the front desk and ask for the snips. That's all we ask, and we'll give you a little plastic bag, and you can go home and cook for your family.
Stay tuned after this break for the annual Youth Police Academy and this week's Living Local.
And welcome back to NutriSlice News. Today we're learning about a new summer meals program going on at the Coakley. Let's go live on the scene with Chris P. Bacon. Thanks, Phil. This is Chris P. Bacon here. I'm live on the scene at the Coakley Middle School, where they're starting the Summer Eats program. This runs from July 1st all the way through August 16th, Monday through Friday. Lunch will be served to all kids and teens, 18 and under. Come on down and grab lunch anytime from 10:30 to 12:30. We're going to be serving meals no matter if it's a hurricane or torrential downpours. Lunch will be served. Back to you in the studio. Thanks, Chris. That looks like a great program that all the kids will love. Make sure you stay dry. Grab a towel. We'll see you later on tonight for your local news.
Welcome back. All this week, the police department began its annual Youth Police Academy. Designed for kids in middle school, the Youth Police Academy gives an inside look of policing to the younger generation. Each day of the week-long camp was a new activity, and for more on the academy, we go to Chief Brooks.
So for people who are not familiar with it, this is a program that we run twice every summer in conjunction with the Norwood Recreation Department. It's aimed at kids who are going into the 8th grade, so these are all middle school kids. So we're in the first week, and then next week is the second week. Both programs are the same, so the kids don't repeat. So on the first day, Mass State Police Crime Lab comes out, and with our detectives talk about the processing of crime scenes. And after the kids receive some instruction in the classroom, we actually have mock crime scenes that are set up around the station. There's 4 of them. And the kids go to the scene, they examine the evidence that they see in front of them, they come up with a theory on what they think occurred. Then it's their job to collect the evidence and catalog it, and just like detectives would do at a real scene. Tuesday is a day that we take them out of Norwood. They get a tour of Fenway Park. Yesterday they went on a boat ride with Massport, with their fire department. They were out on Boston Harbor for that. They eat at Sullivan's on Castle Island, and then they come back. That's a great day. Wednesday is a day we call Field Day. So you see right behind me, the Mass State Police Air Wing has landed one of their ships here. The kids can all come out and gather around, and the 2 troopers explain the equipment that's on the ship and what the mission of their unit is and that sort of thing. As we're talking here, Boston Police is arriving with a K-9 unit. They'll be doing a demonstration for the kids, show them what that's all about. And then our officers are here playing, they're playing football, they're playing soccer, basketball, they're just interacting with the kids You know, one of the subtle messages here, I think, is that this is a good way for kids at this age to get to know some of our officers and to be comfortable around the police. And I just think that that's so important. You know, tomorrow they're going to sit for a presentation by the deputy chief. He's going to be talking about some substance abuse issues. He's going to be talking about smart decision making and that sort of thing. Some of our SWAT officers are going to be in. You know, people may know that we're part of the Metropolitan Law Enforcement Council, so we actually have 4 officers assigned to Metro SWAT. So they'll, I think they're actually bringing up a Bearcat, which is an armored vehicle for the kids to see, and then the kids will be able to see all the equipment that the SWAT guys wear. Friday they're going to the Dedham Jail, where the Norfolk Sheriff's Department is going to give them a tour of their facility, and then they graduate Friday afternoon. And next Monday morning we start it all over again. Each class has about 30 kids. Like I said, they're all 8th graders. They have a lot of fun. You see them interacting with the officers, getting to know the officers by name. The officers get to know the kids by name. It's a great program. We appreciate the partnership with the Norwood Recreation Department and the other law enforcement agencies that help us out with this.
And now for this week's Living Local.
My name is Charlotte Walsh, and we are at Charles River Running.
In 2012, Charles River Running opened its doors in Norwood Center. Owner Charlotte Walsh hoped her store would be a hub for area walkers and runners, complete with the very best in shoes, apparel, and accessories for both aspiring and competitive athletes.
We are a full-service, sit and fit running shoe store, but lots of people come to our store who need a good pair of shoes. Runners, walkers, people that are on their feet all day, people that just need a good, comfortable pair of shoes.
Charles River Running is not only a great place to find running shoes, but also a wide range of outdoor apparel and accessories.
We have apparel, we have accessories, we have great socks, we have all the things you need to have a great run or walk. We have things to carry your water, we have hats to keep you warm, we have all kinds of nutrition like goo and honey stinger and things that you eat on the run for energy. And we even have fun accessories like jewelry and pillows and books and coffee mugs.
Aside from providing all the equipment you need to start running, Charles River Running organizes a number of clubs and activities at the store.
We have a weekly running group called Thursday Strong, and it's open to all people no matter what age you are or how fast you run or how far you run or walk. That means every Thursdays out of 52 weeks of the year, we only are shut down 6 Thursdays around the year on the calendar that we do not run with our group. We also host road races in the local community, and the proceeds from those races we donate to local Norwood charities or sports teams or organizations that are doing great things for our community.
The races that Charles River Running sponsors are some of the most popular races here in Norwood.
We were involved with the Napper Tandy Flyer. We do a New Year's Day race every January 1st at 10 a.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall. We host the New Year's Day 5K. And look, be on the lookout for this summer. We're going to do our second run out of Percival Brewing at the Norwood Space Center, which is a 5K. We utilize the Norwood Cross Country Team course, so it's a little bit of trails and a little bit of roads, and we're planning that for August.
The employees of Charles River Running pride themselves on making sure that the customers are comfortable and equipped with the correct gear.
Sometimes people walk in the store and they feel a little intimidated, or they tell me right away, they exclaim that they are not a runner. And I just want everyone to feel welcome here and know that they do not need to be a runner to come in and get their foot measured and try on a bunch of shoes and talk to us about what they're experiencing with their feet or their exercise. So it's really a store for everyone, because everyone needs a good pair of shoes. Well, we really get to know the customer. We have you sit down, we measure your feet. We're going to ask you all types of questions about your exercise and your running history and your foot health, and I think that's pretty hard to come by this day and age.
So if you live in Norwood or the surrounding communities and you are in need of new running equipment, Charles River Running is your spot.
We are right here in Norwood Center next to Perks, but you can reach out to us through Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. We have a website. You can always pick up the phone and call us too.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government.
Do
Do you want to stay up to date with Norwood Community Media? Then subscribe to our weekly NCM newsletter. Every Friday, our promotions department publishes an online newsletter that highlights the work of NCM and the latest happenings. It includes the full episode of Norwood News, recent clips from NCM programs, behind-the-scenes photos, and so much more. NCM works hard to deliver a steady stream of Norwood content, and this newsletter is another way to stay connected to Norwood. To receive the newsletter, just visit www.norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Scroll to the bottom of the page, click the Sign Up for our newsletter button, and enter some basic information. You'll then be added to our newsletter mailing list. It's all here on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood. Welcome back to Norwood News. It was another light week in government with only one scheduled meeting on Thursday night. The town-wide facilities met to cover a few agenda items. The meeting began by reviewing the agenda, then the committee's membership. The main topic of the night was to discuss and review the General Government Facilities Department budget. The next meeting of the Town-wide Facilities Committee has yet to be scheduled. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what's happening in your schools. Welcome back. This week we are going to show you an NHS TV project that highlights a sneaker museum that is located right here in Norwood.
Norwood local Richard Kazao has a lot of sneakers, and after collecting more than 2,000 pairs during a 40-year span, he decided they needed their own residence.
You know, for years and years I was building this collection, but no one got to see it because it just got so overwhelming that I had to figure out something to do with them.
So Kazao moved his collection from an ordinary storage unit over to the Norwood Space Center, an old converted linoleum factory.
It was an empty old warehouse that was abandoned, and a bunch of artistic type people came in and they took it into individual kind of collectors spaces where a lot of businesses gather and a lot of different types of people are here.
And that was the beginning of what Kazao now calls his sneaker museum.
I had to figure out something to do with them that, you know, could share with everyone, and I could get some pleasure out of seeing them and playing around with them and photographing them and sharing them and whatever.
Recently, Kazao has been building what he calls his wall of 1,000 Jordans.
It started with Jordan. He kind of created the sneaker craze of making sneakers kind of art for your feet, and that's kind of what we grasped onto back then, and it's kind of never stopped.
Kazao says he has a real connection to the history behind his collection.
Every pair of sneakers is a different story, and sharing those with other collectors and family members and friends, and that's what really collecting is all about.
And now that Kazao's space is becoming more organized, he's thinking about what's next.
You know, there's a lot of potential opportunities in the future. People are always reaching out to do things, you know, which is good. But who knows where it'll take us. Hopefully, you know, someday we'll do this massive exhibit.
If you'd like to catch up with Kazao and his kicks, he says you can visit his website at sneakermuseum.com for upcoming event information. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Allie Parkinson.
Hey everybody, Brian Dunn here at the Dedham Rec Pool with the two coaches for the Norwood Stingrays, Catherine Lee and Evelyn Mehta. Thank you for coming on. So let's just talk about the meet tonight. How was it?
I think we had a great meet. We had a lot of swimmers and they were very enthusiastic because it's one of our last meets and it's an official pool, so there was really good energy on the deck.
Yeah, we had a lot of swimmers that were trying for their personal best tonight. Since it is a 25-yard pool, that makes it official. We're used to practicing at Hawes, but we don't have that official length. So it's really big when we're able to go to these away meets and get the times. But overall, it was a great meet, and Dedham had a good showing as well. So.
And I think one of the most interesting things is the age groups, right? It starts at 7 and 8, and it goes all the way up to 18 kids who are competing at the high school level. So just talk about, you know, the depth of the program and how kids, you know, continue this going forward.
Yeah, it's a huge range of age difference, which is actually kind of, makes it really fun and interesting. In the morning, I teach the older guys, and then I go right down to Gold Group, which is 8 and 9-year-olds. So it's such a difference where they're at and what, we're doing in the pool, and it makes it really fun and to see like that whole progression.
Yeah, so we have some swimmers that are 5 years old, so it kind of makes it cool. Just it's a little different, that range, but we have a lot of the younger swimmers look up to the older ones, and I think it's good too. It kind of keeps the older ones grounded when they're having to kind of look out and help the younger ones. It's just that awareness that you have all these little eyes looking up to you. But the program is growing. We do have a lot of older kids this season, which sometimes they trickle out, but we love that. They're kind of keeping in shape for the off season of high school sports. So
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Brian. On Wednesday night, the Historical Society held an informational talk about the changing community of South Norwood. The event was originally planned as a neighborhood walk, but due to the recent hot weather, the walk turned into just a talk at the Morse House on Washington Street.
We just had a presentation of the upper part of South Norwood, known as Morse Hill, and the Hosbrook area, including the Allendale Parkway, which used to be a community garden, the ethnic makeup of all the people that settled this part of Norwood, the Lithuanians, the Poles, the Syrians, the Italians, the Finnish, the Swede, the Jewish, the Portuguese, and the important part and role that they played in forming our town. It was a good talk, and there's lots of history here in this part of Norwood, and we were so happy to do it. And many of the books and sources that we used are available at the Norwood Historical Society. Anytime anyone wants to come in and either purchase them or use them for research. We also have pictures and lots of other things.
This past Sunday, a popular band among Norwood locals made their return to a familiar performing spot. Natalie Jolie and the Reckless Hearts rocked out on the town common from 6 to 8 p.m. for one of the biggest concerts of the summer. The band returned to the gazebo after a very successful performance last year. The Parent Music Association fired up the grill for some burgers, and lots of fun was had by all. Thank you to Natalie Jolie and the Reckless Hearts for rocking the gazebo stage once again. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.